Happy Friday, beautiful souls, and welcome to Spiritually Her. This is your safe space to explore the magic of inner work, grow your confidence, and embrace your self worth as the ultimate superpower. I'm Terrika-Surrenity, your host and guide on this transformative journey. Here, we're breaking barriers, we're rewriting our stories, and stepping fully into that girl energy together. So grab your favorite drink, let's settle in, and let's vibe. Your next level starts right now. All right, guys, happy Friday, and welcome back to yet another episode of Spiritually Her. I'm so glad that you guys are tuning in with me again for another week. And guys, we have a very special guest today, and I'm very excited to have her here. So I can only imagine what the collective and the community is feeling as well. All right, guys, so today's guest is someone who radiates purpose, power, and spiritual leadership. She is a guide for the awakened woman ready to walk in her soul's calling. Kara helps spiritual entrepreneurs launch the business of their dreams, step fully into their intuitive gifts, and make a massive impact and income doing what they love. She offers private coaching, mediumship readings, both one on one and group. She does energy scans, aura cleansing, and she's the author of the transformational ebook From Passion to Profit in 21 Days. So she also has a bachelor degree in psychology, over a decade of mindset and spiritual coaching, and she's also featured on the cover of Women in Business, certifications in this field of meditation, and also breath work. And guys, she's international when it comes to speaking too. So her voice is heard all around the world. She brings a wealth of knowledge, compassion, and soul led leadership to everything that she does. Kara, welcome to Spiritually Her. And we are so excited to have you, girl.
I am so excited. Thank you so much for that incredibly warm welcome. When you reached out to me and wanted me to be on this podcast with you, I was just so blessed and I felt so grateful. So, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone listening. I'm really excited to be sharing my story with everybody.
Oh, well, of course. Guys, who else would I reach out to? Okay. Kara is the real deal, guys. I have been watching her content for a while and her readings are on point. Her energy, her aura is just beautiful. And I'm sure you guys can tell. Look at her. She's radiant. Okay.
I'm a mirror for
Gorgeous.
you, girl. I'm a mirror.
Girl. Thank you.
I mean, whatever you admire in me, it's because it's within you too. Let's be real.
Oh my goodness. My heart. Thank you so much, Kara.
You're welcome.
So, Kara, for people who may not be familiar with your story, was there ever a defining moment within your spiritual journey that was like the pinpoint to you starting your path on spiritual entrepreneurship?
Mm. So, really great question. When it comes to spiritual entrepreneurship, I always felt, even when I was a little girl, that I was meant to work for myself, that I was meant to create something. I had no idea what it was, but I was the little girl who was like really great at selling anything. I could sell a book to a librarian, I could sell water to a whale, I could sell whatever it was because I just had, I guess, this personality where I could see what somebody may need or that could benefit them. So ever since I was a little girl, I've always been very much interested in helping people. Little did I know it would turn into something like this. So I would say when I really had that aha moment, I remember it actually just brought up a memory. I forgot about this until just now. I was in grade 12, and one of the courses was about creating your own business. And I remember in that moment being like, this could be something. But
Mm.
what I did not see was a lot of people around me doing that. Didn't have like entrepreneurs in my family that I could be like, ooh, like this is how I'm going to do it. But there was always
Yes.
something in my heart that felt, I ain't supposed to be working for anyone else. Like,
Like, I don't see that in my future.
I don't see that in my future. Like, the crystal ball is saying no. No. But I just always knew that I was meant to help people. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to inspire somebody. And even when I was young and I didn't have the language for it or the knowledge around it, I knew I was meant for something bigger on a bigger scale. And now I know that bigger is helping people collectively, it's helping people from all
Yes.
over the world.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I can say I've always had that feeling too of just like, no, I don't think I'm meant to work for someone. I don't know if that's for me. But when you
Exactly.
grow up seeing everyone else, follow like this path that has already been paved by many people, and it seems so foreign to choose an option where you don't know how or where you're going. You just feel called there, and you're
Mhm.
the only person that's walking that path, and it's scary. It
Yeah.
can be definitely scary. So, did you always know you had spiritual gifts, or was it something that was just revealed to you over time?
Yeah. Something that's coming through too, and I know this is going to happen throughout. I'm just going to be getting like channeled messages, or spirit is going to be like, wait, like say this as well, because it may really help somebody. So before I answer that, a download that's coming through too around, yes, it was scary. But what I always kept hearing was, and I'm getting like chills now, is it would be more scary if I did something that was out of alignment, that
Mm.
was building towards someone else's legacy versus building my own. So, although it was scary, I was terrified or petrified to live a life that was inauthentic. Or I would look back when I'm like 80 years old and said, if I just would have done the thing.
Oh my goodness. You're dropping
So, that
gems.
to me, right? So that
Drop
to
them.
me was more scary. What, like there were times I had like no idea, or I was broke and broken, but I was like, but that's okay, because it's more terrifying to not go for it and then have that regret later in life than
Mm.
to figure it out now and just like go through it and persevere.
Yes, because also I've heard this somewhere, and I don't know where I heard it from exactly, but they said a lot of times when people are, getting ready to transition, you know, the most times they say they wish they would have done the thing. They wish they would have taken another route. Like they wasted so many time building someone else's legacy and dream. So that someone definitely needed to hear that.
I feel that too.
Someone
And the
definitely.
beautiful thing is, if you don't know what to do, guess what? There's so many people out there who want to show you the way.
Yes.
They want to
Yes.
take your hand. They want to share the wealth of knowledge. They want to give you their shortcuts in the most beautiful way so that you don't need to make the same mistakes. You'll make your own mistakes, let's be real. But there's people out there like myself, like you, like other coaches, other mentors who are like, this is part of my service, my soul's purpose to help you.
That's beautiful to know that even when you don't know what you're doing, there's people that is in that field to help guide you towards
Yes,
purpose, to alleviate wasting so much time, years, and energy on paths that are not for you.
that's right.
And a lot of people don't know that there's people out there.
Mm.
So, guys, if you're listening, and I know that you're listening, but please reach out to the coaches, reach out to the people like Kara who can get you on that journey. because I would rather start now. I used to say with myself, like, I knew I was always a creator when I was younger, but my parents drilled in me, go to school, go to college, do
Mm,
this, do that. But I'm like, I want to create. But it's like I did the things and now I'm back to creating. So you always find your way back.
mm,
But it's like if I would have just stayed there, there's no telling where I would have been. But I
mm.
also know that there are no mistakes, and I did what I did, and I followed that path the way that I did for a reason. So,
Exactly. And it's more of a confirmation that it's for you because your soul led you back to it.
yes, yes, that that made me feel good.
I'm like, oh, I love this.
I
This is
do.
good.
All right. So, when it comes down to your spiritual gifts, like, did
Mm.
you know you always had them, or was it just revealed like over time the more that you tapped into your authenticity?
Mm. So I always knew, but the more I tapped in, it got stronger. Things became more vivid. I was able to tap into other layers of it. So when I was a little girl, I'll always remember this. It was my first encounter with spirit and with one of my guides. So I was maybe about 6 or 7 years old and I was sleeping. And I remember waking up and then I saw a little girl kneeling on my bed. And I remember feeling very calm, very at peace. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel nervous. It just felt love. It felt love and kind and supportive. And it was like her silhouette. And so that was my first memory of it. And then I thought everyone was a medium. I thought everyone could like see spirit and have these dreams and then it would happen or know what people are going to say. I thought that was so normal, right? Because I didn't really talk to my parents about it until I got maybe in my teens. And then they were like, girl, you're crazy. I'm like, no, I promise I'm seeing this. And they're like, okay, okay. So I could always read people's energy. Like I could always see their aura, their color, the color around them. I could always tell like what people were going to say before they say it or said it, but not in a way of like just, when you're in flow with a conversation with someone, you can kind of guess what they're going to say just because you're in that conversation with them. But it went beyond that. It would be people that I didn't know or things I weren't in conversation about. Like I was 10 or 11 and I'm like, they're going to say this. And then they would say it. And I'd be like,
Wow.
I knew it. And I was always so lucky. Like I won any contest I enter.
Oh,
Like
that's good.
because I would just know, I would be like, well, it's this number. And because it would be like games like on a raffle and you would have to choose the number. You'd be like, well, it's 109. Duh. Like it was just the certainty. And then it would land
Duh.
on 109. And I'm like, yeah, like I know. I wasn't ever surprised. I was like, but I knew I was going to win.
Yeah, you were looking at everyone else like, why didn't you know it was 109? Like,
Right.
didn't you know this?
Did you know this? And me and my grandmother till this day will still laugh about it because I was a little kid and I was visiting her and she took me to a fair and there was a gigantic polar bear, like the stuffed polar bear, like a toy
Yeah.
larger than me. And I was like, I'm going to win that. And my nan, okay, here's the $2, like, just amusing me. And I'm like, okay. And I chose the number 109. And then it landed on it. And she looked like, Kara. I was like, but Nan, I told you I was winning the bear. Like,
Like I told you, you didn't
I
believe
told
me?
you. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe. So there I go, like on an airplane with this stuffed animal larger than. So it was just things like that. And we'll still laugh about that. She's like, you knew you were going to win. I was like, I know, because I'm psychic, girl. Like I told you.
Get with the program, okay?
Get with the program. So there had been many, many of these experiences. I could go like the list and list of things that I've won and contests that I enter. And I'm just like, I know I'm going to win it, or I want to win that bag. I actually won this mic in a contest. I'm like, I'm going to win the mic. Like it's mine. And then I win it. So I always just, I guess it's a bit of, well, manifesting like a boss, really. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's what it was and what it is.
I was going to ask you, was it that manifestation energy of just like, I want it, I can have it, it's going to be mine. Period. Said and
Exactly.
done. No doubt,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. And that's a form of manifestation, right? Of just knowing. And even if, it doesn't come as like when we think it will come, it's the fact that I'm
Mm.
confident that it will happen. And okay, if not this time, I'm going to get it. But in your case, you got it.
I got it. And I claimed it as well. I said,
Yes.
this is mine. I took the action, right? Because manifestation is about thoughts, feelings, and actions all aligning to receive the thing or to create or experience the thing. So by me saying, I'm winning that, it's mine, I want it, I'm gonna have it, I was able to do it. Now, that was being a child without all of the incredible tools, like the layers, like I shared. So now I do have more of the tools and the rituals and the knowledge to be able to manifest, let's say, bigger things. So instead of the toy, it will be like a trip, or it will be my dream home, or it will be, things on a larger scale. But in terms of
Yes.
energy, there isn't no larger scale. It's just my desires shifted as I grew up.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Guys, listen, I'm after this, I'm gonna have to reach out to Kara. I need that class 101, okay?
I got you. I got all of you. Come, I will help you.
Please help us
Yes,
out
I got you. I got you.
because I do find myself manifesting things that I don't know. I don't know if some things is just like so grand, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna think big. I'm going to
Yes.
think big and I'm going to step into that thing. I think sometimes it's like some days I'm very high vibrational, and then the
Mm,
next day I might be, and
mm,
then it's like a up and down thing. So for
mm.
people, I know we're getting off topic of the spiritual gifts, but people that are thinking about manifestations and how to bring forth their dream life or their desires, how do they stay in that frequency, or is it about staying in that frequency to bring it in quicker?
I mean, the thing with being human beings is we're going to experience emotions. And I truly believe that our emotions are what make us human, and they are also feedback. So, what I really encourage my students and people who I work with is it's not about not feeling the feelings, because that's a form of suppression. And when we are suppressing, we are actually neglecting what our truth is. So I'm all about feel the feels, feel all the feels, but then choose and decide to get out of it, or give yourself an hour and say, for this hour I'm going to feel really down, because you know what, I did want that thing, I was looking forward to that, or I do feel heartbroken, or whatever the situation is. Feel it, because when you feel it, what are you doing? You're allowing the energy to move, and movement is how we are creating. That is how we are in flow with our truth. So when we are even feeling the anger, what's it doing? It's giving us clues. Maybe you're angry or frustrated because the job that you thought you were going to get didn't fall through. So feel angry, and then in that anger you'll receive downloads or wisdom or clarity. So through feeling, you will be able to receive feedback and then say, okay, you know what? Next time I can do this differently. Or moving forward, I can show up in this way. Or you know what? I actually wasn't really on my A game. So I can take responsibility for that. And maybe I was too much in the energy of needing something to happen. So maybe I need to practice
Mm,
surrendering.
yes. My thing is surrendering.
Yeah.
And I think as women, that can sometimes be hard to do because we wear many hats and do a lot of things and we like to control
Mm,
certain things in certain aspects, but knowing to flow with the process and trust the process, that is very powerful. Very powerful.
exactly. It
'Cause-
is very powerful.
Yeah, because it's like once you said, like with the emotions, when you feel them, you allow them to move. So now you have more space. If you suppress them, you're just keeping it festered and nothing moves. So it's like you're stuck, you're stagnant.
Exactly. So then that's one element of it. Now, the second portion of that is saying, okay, if I stay in this too long, I'm just going to attract more things that are vibrating on that same frequency. So to go to the other part of your question, like, oh, how should we get out of that? Or should we, try to be positive all the time? I don't think so because we're human. But we also need to acknowledge the
Mm,
consequence of staying in that lower, denser vibration. Because I like to say there's
yes.
no like good or bad because every emotion can serve a purpose. But if I stay in one frequency, what am I going to attract? And what is the consequence of me staying there? So then that's where I will encourage my students, okay, when you're feeling like this, have a good cry, do some like shaking, primal releasing, screaming, whatever that looks like for you, journaling, then get outside, go move your body, and then switch your mindset to gratitude and being
Mm,
grateful for everything that's around you now. Thank you so much for the trees and the sun and the air and the clean water and my house and the shelter, and start raising your vibration up. Because if we're staying in that lower, denser vibration for too long, it's just going to be harmful with our mind, our body, and our soul.
exactly. And as you said that, I'm definitely in like that up and down thing where I would feel that emotion. And the next day it's
Mm,
like, all right, girl, shake it off. Like it is what it is, take the shower. And then I'm just like, okay, you have hot water, you have a roof over your head, you have everything that you need, and you are okay. You're good. And I show gratitude to life and
yeah.
the beauty of it, the beauty of the ups and downs and etc. So that's very powerful. And I feel like I do know we have some listeners that do struggle with emotions and,
Mm.
like when your surroundings aren't, but just shifting that mindset can be definitely hard for some people. So I'm definitely glad you tapped into that to let them know not only the cycle of it, but how to get out of it too, just to make sure you're not attracting more experiences like that.
Exactly. And how you're speaking about it as well, right? So
Yes.
don't use words that are indicating your whole life is like that. So don't say nothing ever works out for me. I'm always so broke. This pain is always around me. Instead, you can kind of like put it into its own little category. Say, no, this situation was like this, but there's so
Yes.
much of my life that is incredible. This situation made me feel this, but I get to tap into a higher vibration. I get to. And
Mm,
then on the things that you're like, this is just, it keeps knocking me down. That is then your indication to invest in a coach, invest in a mentor, a therapist, somebody that can help you navigate through those emotions. Because if it keeps coming up, again, feelings are feedback. This is an indication that something may require the experts' support, the experts' help with that.
yes. Yes. Guys, definitely reach out, okay, to coaches, therapists, just like she stated, because you don't have to deal with those emotions alone.
Exactly.
Because I know sometimes there's so many emotions that go on that it might be hard to talk yourself out of it, but to have someone there who is not judge, they're not judging you. It's a no judgment zone, and they're
Mhm.
only there to help and support you and, like you said, pull you out of that, get you to see the beauty within you, get you to see the potential and the greatness that is within you, and for you to tap back into that. So thank you, Kara, for that.
Welcome.
All right. So I do want to step into the powerful brand that you have. Okay. So you built a powerful brand helping others step into their soul's calling. What did that journey look like for you in the beginning? And how did you push through doubt or fear if you had it?
Yeah, that is the question, right?
Yes.
That is a great question. So, like I shared, I always had this knowing and this passion for helping people. So, even when I was doing jobs just, out of college or throughout university, just to kind of, support me financially, I always found myself in places and situations where there were some elements of supporting, of helping. And then I landed, I was like really into fitness and, going through my own journey. And then I was a personal trainer at a gym. And then as I was supporting people with their physical well-being, all of the downloads and the mediumship and all of the gifts had been following me, of course, forever. And then the more I was healing myself and stepping more into my authenticity and removing negativity from my life, as we said, things become more clear when what is not aligned for you, when you let those things go, you create space for what is aligned to actually come in. So I just got really healthy within myself, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I was just getting a lot of mediumship hits. Like I would be working with clients and then I would feel like their dad around, or I would be working like with other people inside of the gym, my colleagues, and I was just giving like such great advice because that's just like one of my gifts. Is just channeling. So, and people would be like, you're really good at this. Like you're so wise. You're such a great person to talk to. You always know the right things to say. And after hearing this for many years, I'm like, okay, there's something here. There's got to be something here. So I remember I was working with one client and I was down on the floor helping them with a movement. And then I just got this download of like, it's time for more now. It's time to take things to the next level. It's time to expand the brand, we could say. So I just went home that evening and I was like, all right, guys, what does that mean? What do you need from me? What am I supposed to do now? And then at first I heard mediumship, like you got to be sharing your mediumship gifts more. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that look like? Because at this point, I had been doing mediumship here and there for my friends and pulling cards and, all of this fun stuff. I had led a few meditations and all of that. And so I was like, guys, like what should I do? What's next? And they said, make a Facebook page and put an ad essentially out to your community. So I am from a teeny tiny little town in northern Canada. It's Labrador. Shout out Happy Valley Goose Bay. Shout out Labrador. And so the community is like 10,000 people. Everyone knows everyone. So the way they made me feel, my guides made me feel, is this is a nice way to like just get into it because people know you, people know your mom, people know your dad. So there will be this element of trust by association.
Yes.
Right. And they were like, and also you may know some of the people. So it will just feel comfortable. So anyway, did that. Then boom, books were filled immediately. It was like people reaching out, like, I want a reading, I want a reading. And then before I knew it, it was like a month or 2 months of readings booked. I was like, okay, oh, amazing. So there's something here. So
Yes.
did that for about 5 or 6 months and then download again. Okay, time to up level, time for more. Because I felt after having a 60-minute session with somebody, I'm like, but what about the aftercare? What about
Mm.
the next steps? Okay, I just connected you with your departed mom or helped you with overcoming some limiting beliefs or pain or whatever, but what about the next steps? Because I knew for me, I needed years of it. Like when I really started healing, it was like a solid 4 years of me just healing, working with the right people, practicing what they're telling me, my coaches, my mentors, my spiritual teachers. So I was like, they're not good just after 60 minutes, because I wasn't.
Yes.
It's like they need this and this and this. And I felt like I wasn't doing them or the world. I felt I was doing them an injustice.
Mm.
I was like, this isn't right, because there's more that they need. And I know there's more that I can give because, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but I believe an element of Dharma and soul's purpose is the challenges and obstacles you have overcome that you can help other people through.
Yes.
Right. So I was
Yeah.
having calls with essentially an old version of myself, or an element that I'm like, I can really feel into that. And I know they need X, Y, and Z, or they could benefit from it if they so choose. So, boom, download came through, and they're like, okay, you need to do some coaching certifications. You need to learn this, this, and this. Got my coaching certification and then launched that. Okay, now I'm a coach. First, it started off as like an energy healer. My title changed a gazillion times. I'm like, okay, I'm this, now I'm this, now I'm this. But essentially I was getting to this version of myself, right?
Yes.
But I was a mindset coach and helping people with their mindset and their energy. And so I did that, and things just kept growing and kept evolving. And then I had a massive breakdown in 2019, and I was giving a lot to other people, and I was healing myself. But I'm sure you and your listeners know there's so many layers, isn't there?
Yes. Many, many
Many,
layers.
many layers. And then when you get to another layer or level, more is revealed of like, oh, I need to work on this now. Oh, and now
Yes.
this, and now this. So I was
Like,
kind of getting to that.
oh, you thought you were healed through that? No, nope, you didn't.
So here's something else. So then I felt that there was still parts of myself that needed healing, and my guides and my body, everything was very much just telling this to me, screaming it to me actually. And so I remember like having a massive breakdown, like tears running down my face, and I'm like, God, like tell me what to do. Like that was the first time I feel I really connected to something bigger than myself. Like I always believed, I always prayed in my way, but this time I was like, all right, if you exist, now is the
Yes.
time to show me. I'm getting like cold shivers right now because I'm like, now is the time to please show up for me. I need you. And then I remember just having this overwhelming sense of peace and calm. And I just heard, Kara, get up, like we got you, we got you.
Mm.
And so this is where my adventurous side kicks in, because I'm like, all right, I need to go to Bali.
I I am ready to go to Bali. That is on my list to go. How was it?
Go. It's amazing. So I was like, I booked a one way because that's my style. I don't book a return date when I go to travel overseas. I'm like, I'll see what happens. I'll see. Universe will provide and show me the way.
Okay, that's bold. I like it though. I like it.
I'm very bold. I am very bold. And so I booked my one way, and then I went on my month of healing over in Bali, and I did meditation. And there was one meditation that I did, and I saw everything. I saw all the things I went through. I saw God, source, universe, whatever people believe in. But my version was this massive, massive like energy circle. And then it was just showing me all of these things like coming from it. And it's like, you got to do this, and then this, and then this. And so it showed me my next year. And they're like, so once you get back to Canada, this is what you're going to do. And in that vision, in the depths of Ubud, in the jungle, with my two friends, Shri and Bom Bom. Shout out to my Bali family.
Hey.
I saw it all, and then so I went back to Canada, and I just did what God, source, universe told me to do, and so that's how everything started to evolve, and me just being more Here's something that really helped me actually. I needed to learn to share my voice and share my story.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's not easy for a lot of people. I feel like it's easier to help people
Mm-hmm.
through their stuff because it's like
Yeah.
we have this nurturing, energy and spirit, and we don't judge. We just simply want to love and uplift. But when it comes to like telling our own story and being vulnerable, that is the hardest thing. And
Yeah.
Spirit has definitely been on me about that, which hence
Mm.
why Spirit pushed me to create this podcast
Mm.
where it's certain things I have shared and just been pushed to share on this podcast that my own family didn't know, but it
Mm.
was a space where I feel like I was supposed to share it, open my throat chakra, and really be a voice. And they have been pushing me because even when it came down to my business, it's like, oh, I'll post pretty pictures. Hi, but then it was like, no, no, you're hiding. You're hiding behind pictures, and your story needs to be out there because it's bigger than you. It is bigger than
Exactly.
you. So,
It is bigger than you. And I was scared because I had experienced, obviously, and I don't know if you guys hear the bird out there. He's like, share your voice, girls. But I was really scared that if I shared my vulnerable story or my pain, that other people would invalidate me and say, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. Why are you complaining? That was your fault." And I was like, I can't handle at that moment, at that time, I was like, I can't handle somebody invalidating me because at that time I was too fragile and I was too
yes.
scared. And I was like, and I don't want other people's opinions because I know how it felt. I know how it affected me. And so I was scared that people would tell me it wasn't a big deal and that who am I to be that hurt over it? So that's what stopped me for many years.
And that's another thing. Who gives people the audacity to tell people their story or their walk or journey was nothing?
Right.
Because you don't know people's story. And even sometimes when people just tell their story, it's nothing like actually living it. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So, people, mind your business for one.
My goodness. Yeah.
Like, if this message was not for you, it wasn't for you, but it's for somebody. But, I feel like those types of, I don't want to say those types of people, but when people invalidate their stuff, it's always comparison. I feel like journeys are not
Mhm.
to be compared at all.
Exactly.
And I feel like we should find the middle ground to
Mm,
how we're all connected rather than saying, oh, that was nothing. I've been through XYZ. Like, it is not a competition for trauma, okay? Who wants to
right?
compete in that race? Not me. I know I
Not
don't.
me, not me. So I don't associate with those people. I can just witness and be aware of why they're acting that way. And really, it's either a cry for help or it's a cry for help or they are triggered by somebody else's light or it's their mindset, their beliefs, and that is their journey, that is on them. And so I don't take those things personally anymore because I know it's not about me. But back in 2019 I was like, it's all about me, like, this is, I can't have that. So yeah, I guess just anyone out there who is scared to share your voice or your story, also know, like, do it in stages. And something that really supported me was my pain became my purpose.
Mm,
My mess is my message.
clock the T. Girl.
So once you give yourself permission to own your own story and to not take responsibility for the pain that happened to you, but take ownership as the adult to heal it and navigate through it, you get to take your power back. And then you get to share your story in whatever way looks like for you. But most importantly, I believe and I don't know if everyone's going to believe this, but I believe my life, my soul signed off on the pain that I was going to experience before I even came, because I was then to be able to get through it to then help other people. So I know
Yes.
I went through that, not just for Kara Roberts, but for everyone else that I meant to impact, inspire, educate, and serve.
Yes. That's powerful. And like you said, some people don't believe we agree, to the things that we will experience in this lifetime, but I believe we do. Some people don't, but I do believe that we do. Even sometimes people would say, like, why would I agree to go through that? But
Mm,
it's like, if you would have known who it would have helped, or
mm,
the hundreds, thousands, even if it's just a few, a handful of people that it could have helped, I feel like people would choose to walk through it if you knew you were going to come out on the other side a healed version of yourself,
mm.
to help other people heal too, because you're not the first person to go through whatever you're going through. So that's definitely powerful, Kara. That
Thank you.
is.
And
That
I feel that
is.
that does kind of go into the question around how everything evolved. And this brand is more than just like a business, right? My brand is my life. It's me. It's Kara and all of the layers and all of the elements. So my brand is, wellness and purpose and joy. So the more that I stepped into my joy and healed myself or allowed myself to be fully embodied in my expression, my brand expanded, my books expanded, my coaching programs expanded, the things I speak about, my content. So everything expanded once I it's beautiful because the more that I went inwards, the more things expanded outwards.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's funny how going inward makes expansion on the outside. And a lot of people feel like it's the other way around. Like, oh, the more I, you know, work on the outside and not work on my inner self,
Mm,
that's going to heal me, or that's going to make me happy. That's going to fulfill me. But it's like they get all of these things and it's like, well, I'm still not happy.
mhm.
So reverse it, guys. Okay.
Reverse it.
Now, so I do want to tap into the psychic mediumship and also the spirit connection. So,
Mm.
for someone who might be listening, who might be new to all of this, can you explain what psychic readings and mediumship actually is, and what's the difference between the two?
Yeah. So mediumship readings, there's blending of psychic. So when I am in a mediumship reading, I am connecting with the person's energy and then with their departed loved ones or pets or any angel babies who didn't make it to the physical earth for whatever reason, whatever choice was made. So when I am in that session, I'm tapping into the person, which then I'm tapping into their aura, their field. So I can receive different information about them, maybe things or journeys that they're navigating through, or challenges or obstacles that they have overcome. I can read into and kind of see where people are holding on to tension or fear or anger or pain or trauma in the physical body. And then through meditation or like guided meditations or visualizations, I can help them transmute out that energy, whatever may feel stuck or a block. So that's one element. And then I can see certain things when it comes to like their future or their path, but I always say everyone has free will, and I can see something based off of the time and space right now. But if you make a different decision, that will change the outcome. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I also believe that there is destiny and there is purpose. So you could go any which way, but it will still lead you to your purpose. Like me, example, I went all over the map, but then here I am back in my purpose of helping people, right?
Right.
So I could do that. And there's a bit of psychic elements in there. Okay. And I'll get to that psychic in a moment. And then mediumship as well is where I'm connecting with a departed loved one. So this is what I was doing even when I was a little girl, but I didn't know. So I was, just sitting in my living room and then I'm feeling spirit around and I'm feeling them because the temperature will change or the hairs on my arm will stand up or I'll get visions or flashes or feelings in my body. At that time, I was petrified, like, what is this? This is scary. I don't know you. What do you want? I don't know any of this. But as I, strengthen my gifts, I can now do it on purpose. I can do it intentionally. So if somebody is sitting, across from me or on a Zoom or whatever and says, I want to connect with my dad or my mom or my brother, then boom, it's like their energy and they are right in my space fairly, like pretty immediately. And then I'll feel like their qualities, their personality, things about them, their mannerisms, how they would say things or express things. I will often get like their names, dates, birthdays, birth years, birth months, conversations that just happened, events that just happened, like birthdays or anniversaries or a birth of a child or things that are coming up within the next year, whatever. I oftentimes too, their departed loved ones will show me extremely specific details. So I get like, oh, the necklace with the exact charms on it. And the person is like wearing it while we're in a reading. Or I'll see like the family home that they grew up in and the exact layout and where photos are on the wall and where things are in the house. So I'll get very specific details or things about them. Like, let's say there was this one woman, she was like, can you ask my grandmother the thing I told her to say to you? And I was like, oh God, no pressure, no pressure. When people say, I'm like, oh my dear God, okay. Come through, spirit. Come on, come
Like,
through.
please, you have to show up.
You
Okay.
got like now is the time. But I'm also like, if I don't get it's fine. But I'm like, come on, come through. And then they told it to me. They said the thing, and then the person on the other side, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed them to tell you, to tell me, so that I know with every ounce of my being that it was them. So, and the really cool thing too is I can channel animals, pets. So, because a soul is a soul, right? It's just in
Yeah.
a different avatar. So, when it's here on earth, it might be in an animal or in a human or whatever. And so, when I'm connecting with animals, it's in the perspective of the animal. So they'll show me like their toy or their doggy bed or them running through a field of flowers, like things that the dog would do or how the dog looked. Like I'll get the exact like appearance and everything of the animal, of the horse, of the dog, of the cat. Um, and the messages that come through are similar to humans, but slightly different because humans and animals, they do play a different role for us in their life. And then when it comes to angel babies, so, babies, whether it was a stillborn or an abortion or a miscarriage, I can connect with that energy as well. And so that is very healing for the person who carried the baby for however length of time to know that they made the right choice or that they're okay. And our loved ones can show me themselves at any age. So if it was an angel baby, they can show me themselves at 7 or 17 or 27 or 107 to validate to the person, the parent, that their soul continued living on,
Yes, they're okay.
that they're okay. And then the same with your departed loved ones. They can take me back to the 50s or the 70s or the 90s or after an age in which they passed to validate that they're around. And they'll bring in, memories or certain things that may have happened since they passed to validate to the person that they're around. They know about the children. They know that you named them after them. They know you just went on that vacation. They know about the conversation you had yesterday.
Oh, that's so cool. I've I've seen I've seen your work when you're on live, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, how did she know that? And I feel like I have a little bit of the gift of mediumship, but
Mm,
mostly when it comes to, I guess, like my own spirit team or my ancestors and etc. I remember being little though, and my sister, she has the gift of sight and actually seeing, I guess, spirits and etc. And I remember I would always say, like, do not let me see you come to me in a
oh.
dream, or because if I see you, I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
freak
do.
out.
Right. It's like, I don't know, because I just have I don't know, I think it's a fear of like, it's dark in my room. I wake up and I see a shadow. Like, I don't know what to expect. I don't want to
Mhm.
feel like, okay, is this a home intrusion or like what is this?
Exactly.
I don't I don't want to have that like feeling of trying to decipher what or who it is. But I feel like the more that I have been tapping into my energy and etc., that I feel like most people that have crossed over come to me in dreams and
Mm.
give me
Ah.
messages to relate to other people.
Mm.
And I feel like also with my family telling them certain things, they were just, girl, don't tell people.
Yeah.
Like, shh,
Keep this to
don't.
yourself.
And I'm trying to research this information. It's like, well,
Mm.
my dad told me I have a little brother, but as far as I know, I'm the youngest child, and I'm trying to figure out who was he dating around that time and everything. I'm
Mm.
calling my aunts and uncles, and they're just like, "What are you talking about?" And I was
Mm.
like, well, dad just keep sending me messages. People think I'm crazy. And I had this woman, she didn't walk up to me. I think that was back in like the pandemic, and when
Mm.
everyone was using Clubhouse. And I was just in different Clubhouse rooms. It was my first time on there, and this lady, she was a medium, and she called me up out of everyone, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, hi. And she basically was like, oh, well, your dad is telling me to tell you that you talk too much for one, and you're going to everyone else to validate something that he told you. And he didn't come to them for a reason. He came to you for a reason. So get it together. And like she described his energy and everything. And I feel like that was the confirmation that I needed. So for people who are in this field that do the work that you do of mediumship, it does a lot of work. It does a lot of confirmation for people because I feel like we feel it intuitively. We feel it. It's just the fact of trusting our intuition, trusting the signs, trusting the synchronicities that we're getting to know. So it's good to run across people who are tapped in tune to give that insight to others. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you as well for sharing a bit of your story because I think that says a few things. It says, first, we get to ask spirit how we want to receive messages from them. Because I was the same as you. I was like, don't you dare come in the middle of the night. I will never do this again. Don't you dare like stare at me like that. Like, so we get to ask spirit, this is how I want you to show yourself or broad daylight at this time or between these times. So we get to have a little bit of that control, which I think a lot of people don't know. So that's the first thing. The second thing you said, which was really beautiful, is that they would come to you in your dreams. So they want to come to you in a place where you feel safe. So you probably felt safe to receive those messages in dream state, whether it is mediumship or intuitive hits or creative ideas. Like there's times I'm woken up out of my sleep or I'm almost asleep and I will get a full on like 6 week program of you need to do this and offer this and this and this. So there's different states of consciousness where we also receive messages, right? It's essentially a meditation practice in some sense. And then the third thing you said was you were told to keep that quiet because that's crazy. And I believe that's why a lot of mediums have these gifts within them that that remain dormant, or it kind of comes up, or it will come so loudly at a certain point in their life, because we were given these gifts for a reason. And it is really important to surround yourself with people who get it, so that when you do feel crazy, or you're like, there's all these like voices in my head, or I'm seeing shadows and spirits, like, am I okay? That you have somebody that you can express that to, who gets you and who encourages it.
Yes. That,
So I have witnessed other psychics. I'll speak from my experience. Now, other people may have their own definition, but in my experience, a psychic is somebody who can read into your energy and also receive messages or downloads, or um, things about the person, to then receive downloads to help them. Some psychics can see exact timelines. Some psychics can see exact things. Because I'm a medium, as well as being able to read the energy, I will get an inflood of downloads. But if I try to remove the mediumship and just do like a psychic reading, I always say, like, I can't predict anything, because you have free will. But if
yes.
you do this, this, and this, if you shift this, if you pivot that, if you increase this, the chances of this happening are really high, simply because I'm bringing in mindset tools as well as the spiritual practices, that it's just increasing the chances of it. So I can like read the energy, feel what they're navigating through, receive downloads to help them. Maybe it is connecting with their departed loved one to bring in a message, or their guides, or their angels, or God, universe. And it's more of like suggestions, it's more guidance, versus like, on December 15th, you will receive the news. I'm like, I can't predict that though, because there's so many other consciousness is
Yes.
involved. However you say that, there's so many other people involved. Or if somebody's like, will I get this job, and I'm like, well, there's also the person in HR, and then there's the person who hires, and then there's this. I'm like, there's so many moving elements. What I can feel though is, if you are going into an interview and you want it and it feels aligned for you, and you are showing up in an energy that is positive, and you're manifesting it, and you're doing all the things that you can do, the chances are higher. But I believe that whatever door is closed, it's not because you weren't worthy of it, it wasn't meant for you. So everything is happening for you, for your
Yes.
highest good, for your greater good. So I believe most mediums are psychics, but I don't know if all psychics are mediums,
That makes sense.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Because
does.
they're different. The mediums are connecting with their departed, whereas psychics are more so tapping into the person living.
Yeah, especially to have like exact timelines and everything. Or unless they're just like really, I don't know, to a point where they can like decipher the two.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I can do ballpark. I can say, okay, if you're doing this, this, and this, I'm feeling August. But don't go by what I'm telling you, because if you want to make it happen, because if I say, yes, by August 15th, you will have that dream home, guess what the person's going to do? They're going to get into action. They're going to get into the right mindset. They're going to make the right choices. So pretend
Yes.
I didn't say anything, and you decide and get into the right action. Start embodying your higher self. Start working with the energies of the universe. Because if I said yes to that date, you're more than likely going to do it, because you got the confirmation from me. But what if you gave the confirmation to yourself?
Mm,
Own your power.
yes. Yes. Well, that's a lot of things that people do when it comes down to someone else told me this date, instead of just giving ourselves the deadline of, yeah, on August the 15th, my life is going to be boom, 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 and for some reason, I don't know, it's just us in that outside validation, the
Yeah.
outside validation of confirming what we can do for ourselves. And that's
Mhm.
why it's good to have a coach to
It's
build
great. Exactly.
to
Yeah.
build
Because
that
I'll teach you all
confidence.
the things. Exactly. It's
To build that.
confidence. And then trusting in universe that if it didn't happen by August 15th, there's a reason. Maybe you needed to learn a lesson around money. Maybe you needed to go and see another place on the East Coast and then get the feeling. And then that was supposed to be your dream home. Maybe you needed to release the partner or the friend, and then you would find your dream home because they weren't meant to be in that home with you or whatever it may be. So if something
Yes.
didn't happen exactly as you wanted it to, it's because there's something bigger and better that's awaiting you.
Yes, there are a lot of factors that go into to play because a
Yes.
lot of people you want to take everything the way that it is right now to the destination and spirit, God, universe, it's like, well, no, this person's not supposed to go with you. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to leave this job because in order for this dream job, you need to have this job. You want to be happy. This is going to provide you happiness. So it's going to come with a lot of changes, a lot of transformations, which seems like rejection, but
Mm.
it's ultimately protection.
Yes.
Look,
Redirection is God's protection.
yes. At this point, we need to come out with a mixtape because we're dropping bars. We are.
I mean, come on. Let's go. Let's put a beat behind all of this and we could be like, okay, maybe, girl, maybe that's something we're meant to do.
You know what? Let's do it. You
Let's
know,
do it. I'm down. I'm so down.
a wrap of just like affirmations and
Yeah.
things.
Hmm.
I think it would be good for the girls.
I think so. I think so.
So, Kara, I do want to go into spirit guides. So, for people who are not familiar with their spirit teams, spirit guides, and spirit animals, how can they communicate with them or just tap into their energy?
Mm. So, first thing I would encourage people is to release any expectations on what they look like, what they sound like, how they appear, what their name is. Like, release all expectations of what you want your spirit guide to look like or who you want them to be. Because the beautiful thing with our guides is they can appear in different forms. So they may be a ball of light or an animal or um, what may look like an otherworldly human or, from wherever they are, whatever their world is. They may have really long, flowy hair. They may be a mermaid. It might be a butterfly. It might be a fairy. It might be a rabbit. So be open hearted to how they are appearing. Something else to know is that you all have guides. They always will be with you. They always were, and they always will be with you. And there's nothing that you can do to make them go away. You can't you can't do anything for them to abandon you. You can't do anything for them to neglect you, or you can't betray them and then they're never going to show up for you again. And you also can't call on them too much.
Mm.
So that's something I encourage people to know because I've had people say, Kara, like, I don't see them around. Did I hurt them? Did I upset them? Are they mad at me? No, your guides have unconditional love and they recognize that you're a human and they knew you were going to make the mistake before you made it. They
Trust
do.
me, they know you guys. They know
Okay,
you.
they know you and they may also evolve with you. So remember I shared at the beginning that little girl that I saw on my bed, the first encounter with spirit.
Yeah.
So she has come along and grew up with me. So she is one of my guides. And as I was growing up and getting older, I never saw her go past like the age of 16 or 17. but she went through different stages with me. So she changed her appearance as time went on because it was like we were kind of growing together. So to connect with your guides, there's a few different ways. I would say find the way that works for you and then practice that every day. It's like, think of it as your spiritual practice, just like we have our gym, or you may have yoga, or you, I don't know, make your bed every day, or whatever that ritual is, your journaling, whatever that is for you. Take your connecting with your guides as seriously, or have that same kind of ritual around it, where I'm doing this with the intention of connecting, the intention of strengthening, with the intention of building the friendship or the relationship. It's always very strong, but when it comes to the human mind, that's where you may kind of trick yourself, be like, oh, I don't know, right? The human brain. So,
Yes.
right? The mind plays some tricks on us.
Yeah. And have you thinking, oh, I'm just talking to myself. And then boom, they come when you're
Yeah,
open, when you're actually
exactly.
open.
Yeah. So I guide my students through this, but something that you all can begin to practice is creating a space in your home or outdoors or in the yard or in nature that's your designated meditation spot. For now, you can shift it and change it as you go. You can do it on the plane, or you can do it at the beach when you get more comfortable with it. But when you're first starting out, create a designated area and go into it with the intention of, I'm going to connect with them. I'm surrendering to how they appear. I am unattached to how this goes. I'm just beginning to build this practice and this connection with them. So what I will do is I'll make sure the space is nice and clean, nice and clear, not cluttered, because everything is energy. So if it's cluttered in your space, you may feel cluttered in your mind and your energy. So have a
Yeah.
nice clear space, put on some spa music or some solfeggio frequencies, turn your phone on, do not disturb. You don't need any of the external buzzing. Create nice lights. If you got some sage or some incense or whatever smells nice for you, and then you can begin to do some breath work. So just grounding into your body, creating just like more stillness, and then going into with some questions. These questions, you can have them kind of prepared, because some people may be like, I don't know what to say. So avoid that by going in with a question of, who is my spirit guide? Who are they, and what do they have to share with me today? What do they have to share with me? Or what am I meant to receive today? What am I meant
Mm.
to know? What am I meant to hear? And just go in with those questions. Simple. And then once you're getting into a meditative state, if you are able to visualize, because I do believe that's also it takes time to build that. Not everyone's going to see themselves in a meadow or a beach or whatever, but allow for yourself to just be in a place, and then ask your guide to show themselves. Like, I'm open to seeing you or feeling you or hearing you or knowing that you're here. Release expectations. A lot of people like, I want to see them. Well, what if you're not meant to see them yet? What if you're feeling them, but essentially they're calling and you're saying, up, decline. And they're
Right.
like, oh, no, decline. Right? You're declining their call. So allow for them to come in with a feeling, maybe of peace, of joy, of an elevation, tingles. Pay attention to what you're experiencing, because whatever it is, if it's a shift or an increase in some way, shape, or form, physically, mentally, spiritually, you're connecting,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So ask them to show themselves through feeling, sight, smell, something, whatever comes through for you. And then when they show it, receive it. Receive how they are showing. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. And then just bask in that beautiful, wonderful energy. And then ask the question, what am I meant to hear today? What am I meant to receive? Is there anything that I'm missing? Honk honk outside. I don't know if you guys heard
See?
that,
Yes, I did.
right?
Yes,
Oh, they went
confirmation.
pump one more time. Like, yep. And then allow for that to come through and release anything of like, well, I don't want to do that, because then that's you getting in your own way. So allow for the message. And then after, do this like 5 or 10 minutes. You can go longer as time goes on. And then journal out what you experienced, journal what you saw, what you felt, what they said, and then do it again the next day and the next day. Now, I believe I have on my YouTube, I think I have on my YouTube, or maybe I'll do this, is a guided meditation to meet your guide.
That would be awesome.
I think I have it, but I know I've done it for my private students.
Yes, okay.
I'll take them on the journey, and then my voice is prompting them. So all they got to do is just relax. So that could be something else that the community does, is whether it's on my page or someone else that you trust, listen to a guided meditation, and that can maybe help you as well. And do it every day. Think of it like you're going to the gym and you're getting stronger, you're building your physical muscle. Doing meditation and connecting with your guides is building your spiritual muscle.
Yes, that's very powerful because I remember starting off in my journey of meditation. The first time I did it, I think I freaked myself out because I was
Mm,
completely open to it. And then I actually saw like a visual. I don't know, I felt like I was seeing palm trees and it was blue
mm,
skies and I heard like seagulls and I was just like, wait a minute, I'm actually laying on my floor. Why am I
mm,
seeing this? And after I opened my eyes and I was just like, no, this isn't real. It was
mm,
harder for me to get back to that. I tried
mm,
for years, but it was like that kind of, I don't know, hesitation because it
yeah.
was like, okay, this is real. This is like, I always felt called to do it. But I was like, nah,
Mm,
nothing's going to happen. And it did. And I was like, wow, the more that
mm,
I tapped into it, the more that it started to grow. Even now with the journaling, does help, guys. It helps a lot, even if it's
yes.
just a word that you may hear, or you might
Mm,
sometimes see the word, a letter, you might see a picture of like a flower or a rose, and it may not make sense at that moment, but it will eventually, maybe in a few days, a few weeks, and you go back to that journal, and it kind of gives you like a timeline too of
mm-hmm,
like, okay, well, hey, I wrote this down this day. I saw this confirmation in this way 2 days later, and it kind of
exactly.
tells a story and it helps you get to know your spirit team, your spirit guides, and knowing how they communicate. And the more that you do that, it's like a relationship, guys. You have to nurture it,
Mm-hmm.
nurture it.
Yes.
So, that is very powerful, Kara, in telling people how they can tap into their spirit guides, their spirit animals, and just being open to receive that and letting it flow how it's supposed to come when it's
Mm,
supposed to come. Because we may feel like we're ready for certain things, but our spirit team knows us and they're like, she's not ready for that. She may not be ready for that. So we're just gonna
exactly.
send breadcrumbs, and the more
Yeah.
that she learns, the more that she is trusting,
Mm,
the more we can reveal. So guys, it's very, I feel like it's life-changing to be able to tap into your spirit team, your spirit guides, to know that you're not alone and you don't have to process your emotions. There's so much support out there, whether that's your spirit team, your coaching, your therapist, your intuitive guidance, psychics, mediums, community, podcasts, anything. I feel like there's so much support on this journey that everyone should be tapping into themselves
mm. That's
ultimately.
beautifully said. One other thing that's coming through as a download is You don't always need to know who your guide is in order to connect with them and in order to receive guidance from them. So if the meditation thing, you're like, I'm still not getting it, but you're seeing 1111, or you're hearing the crow caw as soon as you like say something or think something, that is also an indication that they are with you, that you are being guided, that they are showing up for you. And even if you are, let's say, seeing a butterfly and you get just a feeling in your heart that that is from them, or it's from your mom, or it was a sign that you're going to be okay, receive it, because they're constantly sending us signs. The meditation is just a way to actively build and strengthen the connection with them. But they are constantly sending us signs, even without that. And that goes back into the point I said, they always were and they always will be with you. And they are constantly showing up for you. So if you're seeing, or if you just said, guys, I need a confirmation that everything is going to be okay. And then boom, 1111 appears, or you hear a song on the radio and the words are, every little thing is going to be all right. Boom.
Wait, wait, I just had a moment because, sorry, I just had a moment because I was thinking of this story that someone told me when her son was going through a surgery and she was, panicking, because it was a major surgery and she was hearing Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. And so I was just thinking that. And when you said that, I was like, wait a minute,
Hold up.
wait, guys,
Oh,
confirmation.
wow.
That's
See,
confirmation.
confirmation. Yep. Wow. Wow. And that's not a coincidence that I use that exact lyric to then have you say, oh my gosh, and to make that connection. So I feel
Yes.
our guides are like smiling. They're like, see?
Yes. And guys, this is how it works.
It
It could be
is.
something that you're even thinking and you would hear
Yeah.
someone bring up the same thing, or
Mm,
and it would be like, I was just thinking that. Those can be the little breadcrumbs that your spirit team is like, yeah, that means, yeah, that's the route to go, or told
exactly.
you.
Yes. You see me now? You see me now? If you don't,
Right.
I'm going to keep showing you signs again and again and again.
Yes. I think they have fun doing that too. Like this girl.
Yeah. This girl, here she goes again. It's okay. It's okay. I'll continue to be there for her and she'll get it eventually.
Exactly. All right, Kara. All right, so I just have a few more questions for you. So you
Yeah.
help spiritual entrepreneurs not just connect to their purpose, but build real businesses from their gifts. What do
Mm.
you believe is the biggest mindset shift someone needs to make when turning their passion into profit?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say the biggest mindset shift is that I can make this happen. This is something I know I'm meant to do. And if I don't know what to do, I'm going to learn how to do it. I will equip myself with the tools, with the confidence, with the knowledge. I will learn from the people who are where I want to be or who I am inspired by, and learn what they have done versus maybe, saying I can't do this, or most businesses fail in the first 3 years, or nobody else in my family is that, or it's going to be really hard. When you are going into taking your passion and turning it into a profit, something I would say too is knowing it's not about you,
Yes.
not just about you. Your purpose is about every other life you impact, who you
Mm.
inspire. So take the you out of it and drop into service, drop into healing the world collectively in whatever way that looks like for you. And to understand that if you have this passion, the passion is the first element. This is just something you enjoy doing. But then once we get into like full on dharma and your soul's purpose, I'll break down the three elements. It's the first thing, what you're naturally really gifted at, something you're really gifted at, you're really talented at. It comes kind of naturally to you. People may have told you, oh, you're really good at that. Kara, you're such a great listener. Kara, you give great such advice. Ah, ding, 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 ding. Okay. It's a little golden nugget. That's a little gem. Okay, got that. The second element is the things you are really passionate about, what you love to do, what you love to talk about, what you love to immerse yourself in, you're passionate about. It brings you joy because Dharma is embodiment of all elements of you. And then the third thing is the challenges and the obstacles that you have overcome. So, what have I overcome that I can help somebody else with? Who was I 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 months ago, that I can then help those people in overcoming it so that they can live a more authentic and fulfilled life for them? So, the mindset shift is I can do this. I'm meant to do this. I have this within me for a bigger purpose than just myself. It's not just about me, it's about everybody else. And then allowing yourself to have it. You must master the art of receiving. And when I say master, it's a journey. Maybe another word I could say is just allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to receive the freedom that may come with you having your own business, the financial stability, you getting to choose and decide what you're offering to the world, what your hours are, you receiving the confirmation and the love and the appreciation from others, you giving yourself permission to share what is within your heart and your soul. So I know that's a few different things to shift because I believe there's more than just one, but
Yeah.
hopefully that speaks to people or really lands for them. And then as I'm sharing and as I'm channeling, you will also have your own downloads. I think that's something else as well, is to like allow for yourself to do it in your way, because there's only one of you. You're not meant to be like Kara Roberts. You're meant to do it your way, your
Yes.
unique gifts, your passions, your talents. The world already got a Kara Roberts. Now they need you.
That's
So
beautiful.
allow yourself to be who you are in your authentic truth, and know that there's people out there in their room right now manifesting that you show up in your gifts. They need you. They need you. And they're manifesting someone own their light, allow themselves to shine and sparkle, to speak their truth, to offer their services, their programs, their products. So it's not just about you. So that might be the biggest mindset shift, is knowing it's not just about you. It's about every other person you impact, inspire, educate, uplift.
That is beautiful. And I feel like each aspect forms together as even though it's not one set mind, yeah, well, one set mindset,
Mm,
it all ties together in knowing what you're doing, what you choose to do, what you feel called to do
mm,
will ultimately make room for you, but be of service
mm.
and everything else will just align. And it's beautiful once you realize how the world works or just the universe works or how everything is all connected and I'm at awe with life. That's
Right?
so beautiful, Kara. Now, so I like to ask these two questions to every guest that I have. And the first question, you talk to your inner child. I'm sure you have
Mm,
those connections and you speak to little Kara. But if you could tell her one sentence,
mm,
what would that be?
mm. You did it. You did it.
Way to go, little Kara.
And I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. You did it. And thank you.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
That question always gets me, and hearing the answers, it always gets me, always does. And the
Mm,
next question. Okay, so we know the podcast is called Spiritually Her. And
mm.
so I like to get guest perception on what does it mean to be spiritually her in your point of view.
Ooh, okay, I love this. In my in my way of kind of feeling into that of what it means to be spiritually her is the first word that comes to mind is embodiment, embodying embodying your creativity, embodying your passion, your pleasure, your fun, allowing yourself to go to those other dimensions, allowing yourself to go to those other dimensions and then bring back the fun downloads that you receive to then really be showing up in your life. I believe we get to tap into our higher selves at any given point. And the for me, the goal is to always be in my higher self. My higher self is me just living authentic to me, being in joy, being in flow, being in my creativity, being in my dark night of the soul, being in all elements of who I am and constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly evolving, expanding, allowing, being of service, showing up, doing the things that may make me feel a little bit like nervous, but knowing it's going to elevate my life, it's going to elevate the lives of others. I would say just you being true to who you are, because somebody in my mind who is spiritual is tapped into their truth. Somebody too who is free of judgment and envy of others and simply just having, love and boundaries, because we can have love and boundaries. We got to have those boundaries,
Yes.
right? Don't just allow everyone in because, oh, I send you love and light. Having the boundaries, also speaking your truth and sharing your expression, but
Mm.
coming from integrity, being a good person, and choosing that. Like for me, I want to say to always choosing love, and love does look like closing the door on certain things, right? So that the
Yes.
door can open for something that is more aligned with you. So having your boundaries, but also like, I don't know. I also feel like not taking life so seriously is coming through too. Like have fun, like be playful, do the things that you're feeling called to do. If you've always felt called to play piano, go play piano. If you've always felt you want to go take an art class, go do that. Like say yes to yourself, because
Yes.
those things that are nudging you, that's part of your dharma, that's part of your soul's purpose, because that is you being in joy and doing something you're passionate about.
Honestly, you defined spiritually her in a way that I couldn't even define it as. So thank you.
You're
Ultimately, I
welcome.
feel like all of that definitely rings to what it means to be spiritually her, to
Mm,
be in your authentic state and love every aspect of yourself, every version of yourself,
mm,
showing up in truth, loving on others, but still honoring and loving yourself,
mm-hmm,
most importantly, and being in alignment with what's for you and growing and healing every day because we are still doing it. Even when we feel like we're like, oh, I'm healed, there's going to always be changes, transformations, and growth happening, but
mm-hmm.
how to embody that in a graceful way. So that is very beautiful, Kara. I'm
Thank you.
oh, thank you for being here on Spiritually Her. And so, Kara, I just want to thank you for sharing your wisdom, your energy, and your story with us here at Spiritually Her. Your light is powerful. I've already stated, guys, if you are listening on audio, you're missing out because she is gorgeous and she's so
Oh,
radiant. Like she
thank
has this
you.
glow about herself. And guys, I know this conversation is going to activate so many people to not only own their gifts, but to walk fully into their purpose.
Mm.
So if anyone is listening and wants to connect with Kara, book a reading, book a course, get the coaching, one-on-one or group coaching, get the ebook, okay, from passion to profit in 21 days, right? I will have all of the links in the episode description. Tap in. And Kara, do you have any final words or let people know how can they find you, follow you, see your content, and get the coaching?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been so fun. And it's very much just validating to me how much I love conversation with other spiritually aligned, beautiful souls. I mean, come on, look at you two. Everyone, look at this beautiful goddess sitting in front of me. Look at like so stunning. It's so
Thank you.
stunning inside and out. And it's also validating to me because I've been wanting to do my own podcast for a while too. And so even like being here today, I'm like, okay, I need to get on this. So
Yes.
people are reminding me of that. But something I feel I really need to say, my spirit guides won't let me go without saying it. It's going back to the mindset shift. So whether you want to clip it there or leave it here at the end as like a last little download, one of the biggest mindset shifts and energy shifts to have as well is to focus on impact first and income second.
That is a big one.
Right? If you are going into any soul aligned venture of helping others, look at the impact, the value, the transformation, the up leveling that you are helping and guiding these beautiful souls through. I promise you the income's going to follow, y'all. Like it will follow. Okay. But please do not focus on how I can get money out of this person. Because if you're focusing on that, then talking about mindset, I encourage and highly invite you to look at your current mindset around money, because if money and just getting money and making more and more money is the first priority, there's probably something rooted around you that feels like you need that in order to be worthy, or that you
Yes.
need that in order to be deemed successful, or whatever it is. Now, we love money here. Thank you for all of the abundance because we're meant to be wildly wealthy in every area, but we want to be focusing on the impact of the beautiful souls first, and then to receive the money. And then for any of my coaches or people who want to go into coaching and you may be afraid of like, well, I don't have it all together myself, or I'm still going through a dark night of the soul, or I get depressed sometimes, that's fine. We're not meant to have it all together, myself included.
Yes.
I still dip in my energy. I'll catch myself saying a negative thought, or I'll feel kind of down, and I have to kind of, catch myself in that. The point isn't you don't need to help everybody, or you don't need to help somebody when you're fully healed. You just need to be 2 to 3 steps ahead of them. So you can still be going through your stuff. You can still be going through your shifts and your changes. As long as you're like 1 to 3 to 5 steps ahead of them, you can guide them and you can show them the way. So you don't need to have it all together in order to launch your course. Just felt like I needed to
Yes.
share that too, because that stopped me for a long time.
Yes. And I think that is a lot of people, they feel like they have to. Because I guess with the culture now, everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but most people, when you look at social media or
Mm,
something, and sometimes coaches could come off as, I have my life completely together and I am healed, and let me show you how to heal. But to have a coach that's like, hey, I'm real, I'm still healing through my stuff. But here's the thing, I have been where you are, I have
mhm.
gotten through that. Let me help you get through that too. And I feel like for me, I would rather have a realist, someone
Mm,
who I'm like, you know what? I trust Kara.
hmm
I trust her. Like I would rather be like, I know Kara's gonna tell me the real deal, and she's not
hmm
gonna sugarcoat it for me. And
Mm-mm.
we're going to be in alignment because no one is perfect. And I feel like in this world now, a lot of people are tapping into more of the raw, authentic, and truth in people and healers
Mhm.
and people that are in this journey of helping, of service. And I feel like that's about being authentic too. So
Yeah.
that is beautiful. I'm glad your spirit team told you like, Kara, say it.
They were
I'm
like, don't you
glad.
go off of this episode without you saying that. Like, that's important.
So, Kara, I wanted to ask you, so for the people who are listening, if they want to book a reading, get the coaching, whether that's one-on-one or group, or get the book, um, where can they find you? And what links do you have? Also, I'll make sure I post them in the episode description. But for those who's listening,
Yeah, so there's many ways to work with me, whether you want to just join the community on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube and just follow along with the content there. But for those who are wanting to take their life to the next level, who are wanting to take, their confidence to the next level, and you want to dive more into one of the biggest questions we ask ourselves is, why am I here? What is my purpose? Then I would encourage you guys to first book a discovery call with me. This is where we'll talk and I'll get to know you more and you can share your growth goals with me and I'll share with you guys the program and all of the steps that you can take and all of the transformations that you can expect to walk away with. So that's a really good place to start to learn more about that. And you said you'll link everything, so that's a great way. And whether you are to a medium or you have these gifts and you want to strengthen them. So in my coaching programs, I have a few different approaches to it. It is very much personalized to you. So if you are an intuitive or a psychic or a medium and you're like, I want to learn more about this, I want to strengthen this so that I can live my purpose, because everything in my brand goes back to living your purpose. We can talk about that as well. I do a blend of mindset and spirituality in my courses. And we can always bring in your departed loved ones, your guides, your angels into every single session as well, just to have I like to call that's like my special sauce, that extra little dust of magic that you can get access to in every session. If you wanted to do standalone sessions, I do 30, 60, or 90 minutes, and you can use that for mediumship. Or if you wanted to use that for an hour of coaching, it's a blend. It's whatever you feel that you want. And then, of course, my newest ebook, From Passion to Profit. It's the 21-day blueprint for spiritual entrepreneurs to help you attract dream clients, create soul aligned offerings, get paid massive amounts of money doing what it is that you love. So it takes you through the whole process. That is kind of like a learn as you go. You can kind of take the step by step on yourself for yourself. And then, of course, TikTok, Instagram, I go live all the time. I'm constantly doing live readings and all of that stuff. So there's many ways to get access to your healing. I always say it's just up to you to lean in and say yes and grab the opportunity, because there's no coincidence we're doing this right now. There's no coincidence that the people listening, that you're listening to these words at this exact moment. You've manifested it. You've probably been calling in a coach or a medium, and because you are showing up in this energy, you have received an opportunity. So it's up to you to say yes and to grab it. And if you just want to like pop in and say hi, like I'm open to however you want to receive the guidance and the help and the support. So I would say just follow me if you feel called to join the community. And yeah, I would say go from there. Whatever your heart is calling you, wherever you're feeling guided to, trust that.
Awesome. Well, guys, you heard it from Kara herself. Guys, go ahead and follow her, tap in, get the knowledge, get the wisdom, even more, because I know we have a lot of gems today, but I'm sure there's so much more wisdom, knowledge, and confirmations that can be provided by Kara to help you along your journey. All right. So, guys, tap in. That is all for today. I look forward to chatting it up with you guys next Friday. And know that I love you. I mean it. Until next time, stay aligned, stay glowing, and stay becoming spiritually her, guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Spiritually Her. I hope you felt inspired, empowered, and ready to take the next step on your journey. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's keep the conversation going. You can connect with me on TikTok at Serenity 101. That's SURRENITY 101. And on Instagram at spiritually.her. I love to hear your thoughts, breakthroughs, or even what topics you want to dive into next. Until next time, remember, your power is already within you. Keep shining and simply stay spiritually her. Bye.